Looking to dominate the sportsbook this NFL Sunday? Well, you're in the right place, my friends. Stay tuned for my best 6 bets for this NFL slate, all plus money and ending with a juicy 4-1. Welcome, football fans, to another edition of IDP Plus Bets. That's right, folks. I'm your host, the DGen Doc, and here's what we do at this show. I give out my 6 favorite player prop bets for this NFL Week 8 slate. That is right, folks. We've been doing it every week. And look, after 4 straight weeks of profit, we ran into a little bit of a wall last week. Hopefully, you were able to ride the Drake May ladders all the way up to make up for some of that. But hey, we're back. And again, we're getting right back on the wagon because I've got 6 plays that I absolutely love this week. And we're going to go ahead and get it started. We're going to start over in Arizona. We're going to start with the Miami Dolphins, actually. We're going to talk about an offense that is waiting to get unleashed. They've been chomping at the bit, and specifically Mr. Tyreek Hill over 95.5 receiving yards at plus 130. This is an offense that has been gone through awful quarterback play without Tua Tagovailoa. Well, Tua is back. He's had 4 weeks to recover from that concussion. Expect him to be a full go. He's practicing fully. He's going to be out there, and nobody loves that more than Tyreek Hill. He's already talked about if you got him in fantasy, you need to start him. He's ready to show everybody this guy, 100 yards to him is nothing. That is like most people just hitting their normal 25, 30 yards. Tyreek Hill is going to light up this Arizona Cardinals defense. Look, this is a defense that just gave up 300-plus yards to Justin Herbert and a group of janitors. Let's be honest, Justin Herbert's a good quarterback, but the best he had out there was Lad McConkey? Maybe Joshua Palmer? Come on now. This is no Tyreek Hill. I think they're going to light him up through the air. Give me Tyreek through the air. And then on top of that, right before the season, Arizona Cardinals' best pass rusher, B.J. Ojulari, out for the season. Well, they had a guy in Dennis Gardeck that stepped up and was leading the team with 3 sacks. Unfortunately, torn ACL. Now he's out for the season. They also, Sean Murphy-Bunting not practicing, supposed to be their best cover guy. So there's no one on that team that can stay with Tyreek Hill. I love him over here, the 95.5 at plus 130. All right, next guy up is a guy who this game just means more. George Kittle. The San Francisco 49ers are playing the Dallas Cowboys. This rivalry means something to George Kittle, a la that shirt he debuted last year when he was on his way to scoring 3 touchdowns against this same team just last season. Now, I'm going with George Kittle anytime touchdown plus 130. He loves playing Dallas. That is very clear. He leads the team in receiving touchdowns this year with 5. And let's be honest, I mean, that San Francisco 49ers sideline is basically a mash unit. There is who's left. It's about who's healthy. He's one of the healthy folks that has a chemistry with Brock Purdy. Look, we may get Debo out there. I'm not too optimistic on Juwan Jennings. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk done for the season. I think they're going to have to score some points if they want to stick around with this Dallas team. Give me George Kittle to have a day, and it starts with him finding the end zone. All right, next guy up. We're sticking in that same game, and I'm going to the other side there. I'm going to CeeDee Lamb over 100.5 receiving yards at a nice plus 205. Now, this is something that CeeDee Lamb did frequently last season, but has yet to do this season. Well, that's what the bye week's for. I think they took some time, him and Dak, to figure out we've got to get this thing going. They got embarrassed by Detroit going into the bye week. I think they used that as motivation. I think they come out and play well, and I like CeeDee to get back on track. Give me him over 100-plus yards at over 2-1. Again, he was doing this routinely last season, and him and Dak do have a connection. I think they're going to be able to get that back. There's no one on San Francisco's 49ers defense that can cover him one-on-one. I really like him to have an opportunity to run wild against that San Francisco 49er defense. No Tailana Hufanga. They're a bit beat up on defense. That pass rush is not what they were last season. They've been susceptible to the big plays, especially at dominant number 1 wide receivers. All right, folks, we're 3 out of 6. That means we are halfway through this season. It's not quite the season, but this episode, excuse me. So I got to tell you about what we're doing here on IDP Plus. First of all, if you don't have an IDP Plus subscription, what are you doing? Head on over to idpplus.com/membership, and I will give you a special offer. Use the promo code PROPS, and I will give you 20% off any membership you want there. Look, we've got tools, data, specific articles, Discord, things that only our subscribers get access to. I personally read an article there where I'm breaking down the biggest injuries of the week and how they affect the defensive side of the ball, that IDP fantasy or defensive prop market. Look, if you like IDP Plus, then I know you love real football, which includes defense, all 22, baby. All right, we also got a deal with Fanduel, idpplus.com/Fanduel. Get $50 in bonus bets when you deposit $10. And we don't discriminate. We also got one with DraftKings, idpplus.com/DraftKings. $50 in bonus bets when you deposit $50. All that and more will be in the show description. All right, folks, let's get back to it. And we're talking about none other than Mr. Famous Jameis Winston. I mean, I don't know how you don't get hyped up when you see him. Imagine the pregame speech that Jameis Winston is going to deliver before they face the AFC rival Ravens defense. Those Baltimore Ravens are coming to town. And look, Deshaun Watson out for the season, torn Achilles tendon tear. He's done, right? DTR, backup, hurt his finger. It's Jameis time. It is famous Jameis time. And we know one thing about Jameis Winston. He's a gunslinger. He is not afraid to throw the ball. And this is the perfect matchup for him to come back some. So officially, I'm on Jameis over 260.5 pass yards at plus 210. This Baltimore defense is giving up 287 yards a game. That is their average. They're giving up so many yards to everybody. Now, I know they're getting big leads and they may not be playing, but Marlon Humphrey is hurt and not practicing. I think they're going to go into this game after a big win in Tampa. They've rattled off 4 straight. I think they come in a little bit sleepy, and I think the Browns are able to throw the ball. And even if they throw or they do, maybe the Ravens get up again, right? They get a big lead. Well, that's just easy garbage time for Jameis Winston there. There's no one behind him. I like Jameis Winston. I mean, the O-line's getting healthier, but let's be honest, it's Jameis against the bad secondary. I think, maybe he has 3 touchdowns, but it's just as likely that he's going to get 300 yards. So, waiting for an awesome game from Jameis. Excited to see him back on the field. He's got LASIK, folks. That means he can see nowadays. All right, let's go on over to another guy that we've been too happy on this show so far. Too many overs. We got to go with an under. We're fading somebody this week, and it's somebody you might not think. Yeah, I'm looking for Amon-Ra to not be flying high this week. I'm going with Amon-Ra St. Brown under 50.5 receiving yards at plus 255. Yes, 255. You heard that right. And now I know what you're saying. Amon-Ra's a stud. He's not going to go under this 50.5. Well, he's done it in 50% of his games this season. It seems like he either has a boom game or he kind of has a bust game. And I'm thinking he's having a bust game for a couple reasons. One, the Lions are 11.5-point favorites against the Tennessee Titans here. Clearly, Vegas thinks they're going to roll. Obviously, like we saw in Buffalo, they kind of put it on them. I don't think they're going to need to throw the ball a ton. Jamison Williams also suspended. So they're going to try to do everything they can to stop Amon-Ra and let the other guys beat them. They'll have to worry with the ground game. And it's a situation where this Tennessee defense is really good as far as, especially against the pass. They're only giving up 166 yards. Now, some of that is teams running on them because they have a lead, which I expect the Lions to have. I expect this to be a boring, sleepy game, 20, maybe 21-10, something like that. It could be 17-3. I'm not expecting a lot from this game. So I think it's just going to be a quiet day from Amon-Ra, and he's going up against one of the best pass defenses in the league. So I think this number is entirely too high. Again, he's hit this in 50% of his games. So give me Amon-Ra St. Brown under 50.5 receiving yards at plus 255. And for our long shot of the week, well, if you're going to take a long shot, you better pick on a bad team. And that team is the Carolina Panthers this week. I'm going with Bo Nix, 50-plus rush yards at a juicy 4-1. He's hit this number in the past 2 weeks. 2 for 2 past 2 weeks. Clearly, look, Bo Nix, I think he's having, he's having an up and down season. The team is winning, but it's not like he's lining up the stat sheet. But one of the things he is doing is he's using his legs. Like most rookie quarterbacks should be doing. If they don't get the first read, just run. They're calling some RPOs for him. And what a better time to pad the stat sheet than against one of the worst rush defenses in the league. Carolina Panthers are decimated by injuries. They have to resort to playing Bryce Young again. You cannot tell me that locker room is going to be motivated You know, they had a little bit of a bump up when they promoted Andy Dalton to the starter. The guys were able to buy in. They think we have a chance. And now they got to bring back Bryce Young because Andy Dalton got into a car accident. He's not going to be able to play, sprain his thumb. There's going to be no motivation. Bo Nix, he's going to be able to run, whether it's at a scramble or whether it's on a read option, whatever it may be. Bo Nix, 50-plus rush yards at 4-1. All right, folks, those are the 6 best bets that I have. Those are my 6 favorite bets for the week. I'm going to do a quick recap here. So we've got Tyreek Hill over 95.5 receiving yards at plus 130. George Kittle to score a touchdown at plus 130. We got CeeDee Lamb over 100.5 receiving yards at plus 205. Jameis Winston over 260.5 passing yards at plus 210. Amon-Ra St. Brown under 50.5 receiving yards at plus 255. And finally, Bo Nix, 50-plus rush yards at 4-1. All right, folks, look, like I said, last week, we all have mulligans. We had 4 straight weeks of profit in a row, 4 straight weeks of hitting the long shot. So definitely don't think 4-1 shy away. Again, was 4 out of 5 the last 5 weeks, right? So let's get back into our winning ways. Let's have a hell of a week. Hey, folks, look, we are, there's a newer show here on IDP Plus Network, obviously the first season here. So I appreciate any likes, comments, subscribe, any feedback you want to give. Definitely appreciate it. I hope if I've been winning you some money, you've been enjoying the time cashing with me. Go ahead and drop us a like and a subscribe there. All right, folks. From here at IDP Plus, this is the DGen Doc signing off.
Thank you for watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.